In this section, I'm going to show you how to set up your GitHub environment in your local machine. So the very first step, please head out to github.com. In case you do not have an account, sign up with the GitHub, and it's a very, very easy process. All you need to do is pick up a username, of course with no spaces, and which should be unique. Next step is please provide them a valid email ID, and please make sure that this is a valid email and you have access to it, because GitHub is going to send you a verification email at this email address. Next, you choose a password and then you're good to go. Now, since I already have an account with GitHub, I'm going to sign in with my existing user ID. Once you sign into GitHub, there are two types of repositories: public repositories and private repositories. By default, all of your repositories will be public repositories, and that's your free account. You can always sign up for a paid version, and then you can have access to create the private repositories. You will still be able to share your private repositories with other users. But for now, just for the demo purpose, I think let's stick to the public repository. Next step is, once you are signed in, please make sure you update your profile, and you need to go to your settings, and there are some things, you need to provide your email. Remember, this email will not be shared with the other users unless you specify the settings. Okay, one more thing I want you to see here is the organization. You have the option to set up an organizations. Remember, an organization is the place where you can have your team members log into these organizations, and you'll have the options to share your code among your team members. So again, for the demo purpose, let's start with a very simple public repository. And here you can create your new repository. You can always import an existing repository. So for now, let's get started with this one. So for all the GitHub installation related instructions, I have created this repository. And if you look at this README, you'll find all the most current installation instruction. In this README file, I have also included a list of GitHub commands so that you don't have to memorize those. So the very beginning, GitHub comes in two different versions. One is the desktop version and other is the command line version. Let me show you both. So as you go to this link, it will give you an option to download for Windows 64-bit. Okay. It will download an exe version to your local desktop, local drive. So for example, I'm going to create a folder in my C drive, and I'm going to put this GitHub desktop exe inside this. Because I already have this, I'm not going to do this over again. Now let's go to the next step. So this basically, that's all it takes to install the GitHub desktop on your machine. Second thing is the command line version. So as you go to this link, it will take you to the GitHub downloads page. Now for the Windows installation, I'm going to go to the this Windows directory. Now here, before I started downloading, I would rather prefer a portable version of the GitHub, and I'll show you why. So I'm using the Windows 10 64-bit machine. So I'm going to choose this 64-bit Git zip version, and I'm going to save this to the same local drive what I mentioned earlier. For some reason, I'm still thinking about it. So let me reload this page. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to install the 64-bit portable versions. So to install the command line version of GitHub, you need to go to this link, go to the Windows, and then I would rather grab this thumb drive version. This is a zip version of the 64-bit. So all it's going to do is going to, okay, let me show you. Now to install the second version of GitHub, which is the command line version, I want you to go to this link. And then if you go to the Windows tab, you will see there is a thumb drive version, thumb drive edition of the GitHub. So depending on your Windows machine configuration, so for example, I'm using Windows 10 on a 64-bit machine, I'm going to grab this zip version. And I'm going to save this into the same directory where I had that Git desktop version. So let me show you here. So once you grab this zip version, I want you to unzip this and keep it here. One more thing while I'm here, I want you to grab is VS Code. VS Code is the most popular text editor, and it depends on your choice. You can use Sublime, Atom, or any other text editor. They all just work fine. But I want to take this opportunity to show you how VS Code can use Git. Git comes built in with VS Code. So that's the thing I like about using VS Code. So while I'm here, I will also take this opportunity to show you how to set up Git on your VS Code. So again, I'm going to grab a zip version of the VS Code and copy this into the same local drive. As you can see, I have a VS Code zip version, I have a GitHub desktop, and I have a portable Git. Now let me go through this portable Git directory. Now let's get started with GitHub desktop. So if I double click on this, it's going to open GitHub desktop version on my local machine. So it's a very nice GUI interface. First thing is you need to go to the file options and make sure you sign in. You have to use the same credential. Of course, sign in. Okay. Now you can create a local repository, but I want you to get you started with a cloning repository option. So as you can see, if I click on the clone a repository, it gives me an option to grab any of my remote repositories. So I'm going to grab this remote repository and I'm going to save it to my local drive. Clone. So as you can see, I'll go to my Windows folder and you can see there is a Git repository copied to my local drive. Now, once I go inside this Git repository, you will see there is a hidden folder .git. It's automatically created by your GitHub environment. And this is the folder where all of your changes are recorded. So please make sure never to delete this folder. Now the next option I want to show you, this is the Git desktop. You can always create a local repository. You can close an existing repositories. You can create your branches, and you can do a whole lot of other things. But I also want to show you the command line version of the Git. So if I hit to my Windows, start and run, type a command. So that will open a terminal window here. At this point, if I enter Git, it's going to give me an error. Now this is happening because I installed a local portable version of Git. So my Windows environment doesn't understand where to find the Git file. It's very simple to fix. So open up your edit environment variables for your account, go to your path, and once you edit this, what you will notice, it automatically created an environment variable for your desktop version. So as you can see, this is where I copied my GitHub desktop exe, and it is able to find it there. Now, to initiate the command line version, I will go back to the same program directory and look at my portable Git. So I will grab this path and create a new path here. Okay, save this path. I'm going to come out of this terminal window and I'm going to open it again. Now if I enter Git, I'm pretty sure it understands where to find the Git. So